Americans are label readers because we care about what we put into our bodies. Because of the sterilization of milk by pasteurization that wipes out all of the nutrients and the unhealthy additives, I turn to raw milk. Raw milk is simply milk that comes straight out of the cow and goes right into your refrigerator without pasteurization. In the 1900s, the Mayo Clinic used raw milk to treat cancer and kidney disease. Those results were not found using pasteurized milk. The FDA and the CDC would report that there are risks to drinking raw milk from bacterial infections. However, nature has taken care of this. Raw milk contains an enzyme called lactoperoxidase that kills bacterial infections in milk. The FDA and the CDC reported that between 1996 and 2005 that there were 8,000 illnesses due to bacteria in fresh produce. But these statistics were in an article about raw milk and the dangers of drinking raw milk. But when you run the statistics down, what you actually find out is that there were only 10 cases of bacterial infections from drinking raw milk in 9 years. There was another report by John Sheehan, who is with the Division of Dairy and Egg Safety with the Weston Price Foundation. He reported that between 1984 and 1985 that there were 200,000 bacterial illnesses from pasteurized milk. There was also another survey in 2003 that came out where the FDA and the USDA had to admit that there were 29 times more illnesses from pasteurized milk than there were from non-pasteurized milk. So it's clear that pasteurizing really doesn't offer any type of guarantee for safety. Pasteurizing actually kills friendly bacteria that's good for you. It also destroys all the nutrient contents in your milk. With pasteurizing, you lose 66% of vitamins A, D, and E. Vitamin B6 and B12 are completely destroyed, and there's a greater than 50% loss of vitamin C. Another thing that pasteurizing does is it destroys a very important enzyme called lipase. Lipase helps us with fat metabolism. The metabolizing of that fat is how we absorb our vitamin A and our vitamin D. So when lipase is burned out by pasteurizing, we can no longer absorb anything that's left of the vitamin A and vitamin D. So guess what they do for us? They inject a synthetic version of vitamin A and D into your milk that you can readily absorb. And we have no idea what that's actually made of. Another reason I drink raw milk is because of the things that are added into the milk, the hormones that are added. Monsanto Company is one of the leading manufacturers of genetically modified foods and artificial hormones. They make a product that is called recombinant bovine growth hormone, RBGH. Recombinant bovine growth hormone was produced for dairy cows so that they would make more milk, and of course there's more profit. It's also injected into beef cows. The meat that you eat at the grocery store also has this hormone included in it. So what this hormone does and why it's dangerous to us is that it increases elevated levels of something called increased insulin-like growth factor. It's IGF-1. It is a growth factor in cows, and so it takes this increased amount of IGF-1 and it dumps it off into the milk, which goes into your grocer's freezer because pasteurizing doesn't wipe that away. The problem we have with that is that our bodies already make that growth factor. It is what helps us grow big and strong, and it also helps us in cellular development. So when we drink this overabundance of IGF-1 in our milk, what happens? It makes our cellular system go nuts, and we develop tumors and we develop cancer. It is a proven fact that IGF-1 is a tumor promoter. The Cancer Prevention Coalition says that IGF-1 is the leading cause of breast cancer, and it's also been indicated in colon and prostate cancer. Another interesting fact about IGH-1 is that it has been banned in all industrialized European countries and in Canada, but not in the United States. We suspect that Monsanto would go broke, but we still have it in the United States. In 1984, Michael Taylor, who works for the FDA, strangely enough, he used to be an attorney for Monsanto. He wrote the labeling guidelines for this dangerous hormone. And in those guidelines, it states that by law, dairies who use this hormone are not allowed to put that on their label. By law, they are prohibited to include that information on their label because they don't want you to know. So the organic dairies who do not use this hormone, they can put it on their label, but because they use the company name and the company drug, if they use the actual name on the label, they have to put a disclaimer on there that says this recombinant bovine growth hormone is no different than the normal hormone of the cows. They have to say that there is no difference between their hormone and a natural hormone. So what you usually see on organic labels is it'll just say hormone-free or antibiotic-free because they don't want to even say the name and they don't want to put the lie on their label because it is not the same, it's a cancer causer. Okay. There are many, many benefits to drinking raw milk. One of the benefits is that most people who are lactose intolerant can drink raw milk. And the reason is that raw milk has lactase in it. Lactase is burned up with pasteurizing. Lactase is the enzyme that helps us digest lactose, which is basically just milk sugar. So there was a study in Michigan of a group of people that were lactose intolerant, and out of that group, 80% of those were able to drink raw milk because of the lactase that was included. Health News also reported that drinking raw milk aids in allergy, hay fever, and it also reduces asthma in children. Raw milk is a complete food. It contains all of the essential vitamins, A, B, C, E. It also contains B6 and B12. There's also linoleic acid, which is a fatty acid that helps build muscle and reduce fat. We have essential minerals that we need for life. All of the minerals are included in raw milk. They are not included in pasteurized milk. Amino acids. Amino acids are building blocks for protein. There are 8 essential amino acids that we need for good health. All 8 are included in raw milk. They are not included in pasteurized milk. Raw milk also contains a lot of healthy fats, and we tend to run away from the word fat, but some of the fats are actually good for you. There are fats in raw milk that help secrete a hormone in your stomach that tells you when you're full, so you know that you've had enough food to eat. So raw milk can help you burn fat, and it can help you with your weight because it tells you that you're full. The taste of raw milk that has not been injected with synthetic hormones and synthetic vitamins, it tastes really clean on your palate. If you can't seem to wrap your mind around trying raw milk, you can always pasteurize it. And if you can't do that, then for goodness sakes, when you go to the grocery store, at least pick up organic milk. Organic milk, while it is pasteurized and you still lose some of the nutritional value, it doesn't contain these cancer-causing agents. Why would you want to drink that? So, in closing, let's take one more look at the facts. Raw milk had 10 cases of illness over 9 years as opposed to pasteurized milk, 200,000 cases in 1 year. And then there are the dangers associated with RBGH and IGF-1 that is a known cancer causer. So when you weigh the risks to benefits between raw milk and pasteurized milk, I'm going to choose raw milk every time. Thank you.